Welcome to Department of Botany, Kalna College. Myself, Dr. Somnath Mondal. Today's topic is chromosome mapping. Now, before going into chromosome mapping, we need to know about the type of gametes. Now, gametes can be of parental type or recombinant type. Suppose in a cross between an organism having genotype capital A, capital B, small b with small a, small b, from the first parent we can expect parental type gametes, that is similar as that of the parent. The capital A and capital B alleles are together and small a and small b alleles are also together on the same chromosome. And also if crossover takes place, then capital A can be associated with small b, and in contrary small a can be associated with capital B. So these are the crossover gametes or recombinant type gametes. Now in case of the homozygous recessive other parent, there will be only one type of gamete. Next, let's have an idea of single and double crossover. Suppose there are two homologous chromosomes. One is having capital A, capital B and capital C alleles, and another having small a, small b and small c. Now if single crossover takes place at the region 1, then it will not affect the position of B or C alleles. However, the A alleles have been exchanged. So this is single crossover at region 1. Again, if A and B alleles are unchanged but the C alleles have been exchanged, then this is single crossover at region 2. Similarly, in case of double crossover, the midpoint, that is the B alleles, are remain unchanged. However, the A alleles and C alleles have been exchanged. That is, crossover both at region 1 and region 2 has taken place. So that is why it is double crossover. Now going into mapping, the procedure of chromosome mapping was invented by Alfred Sturtevant. He was an undergraduate student working in Thomas Hunt Morgan's lab, and geneticists construct chromosome map by counting the number of crossovers during meiosis. Now, actual crossover events cannot be seen and they cannot count them directly. That is why they count the number of chiasma or recombinant chromosomes. We know chiasma formation is the prerequisite of exchange of chromatid segments during crossing over, and recombination takes place. Therefore, chiasma are counted through cytological analysis and recombinant chromosomes are counted by genetic analysis. Now, coming to the first part, the very basic, that is, the number of crossing over is equal to the genetic distance. So it says the distance between 2 points on the genetic map of a chromosome is the average number of crossovers between them. Now suppose one pollen mother cell contains the genotype capital A, capital B, small b. Now capital A and capital B on one homolog and small a and small b on other homolog. Suppose 100 such pollen mother cells are undergoing meiosis to form pollen. Now, what are the different types of combinations we can expect? Now look at the first type where there is nothing changed in between the two homologue. So this is the no crossover type. Second one where the exchange of A alleles have taken place. This is single crossover. Third type where both the A and B alleles have exchanged their places. So this is double crossover. And the fourth and last where again another level of triple crossover takes place, and thus capital A is in combination with small b and small a is in combination with capital B. Now the numbers indicate the no crossover product, that is 70, the frequency of single crossover product 20, double crossover product 80, and single and triple crossover product only 2. Therefore, out of 100 there are 70 no crossover, 20 single crossover, 8 double crossover, and 2 triple crossover. Now therefore the average number of crossover between A and B is like 0 or no crossovers are 70 out of 100. Therefore 0 into 70 by 100 plus 20 single crossover, that is 1 into 20 by 100, 8 double crossover, that is 2 into 8 by 100, and 2 triple crossovers, that is 3 into 2 by 100. So together it counts 0.42. Therefore 0.42 map unit, that is the average crossover, average number of crossover between A and B genes. Therefore 0.42 map unit is the distance between the alleles of gene A and B on the same chromosome. As simple as that. Now in the second scenario, that is called recombination mapping with a 2-point test cross. Now why 2 point? So here in parental generation we are considering 2 genes. One is one fly with phenotype long wing gray body female and is crossed with vestigial wing black body male. And as I have said that genes are named according to their mutating effects. Suppose in a electric board there are 10 switches and you do not know which switch is for what, and each and every switch is on. Now if we off one switch and you see the fan went off, then you can mark it that this switch is for fan. So like that we can mutate one particular gene and then see what happens, what is the effect of mutation. So if one gene is mutated and we can see a normal long wing become vestigial wing, then this gene is marked as VG. So VG is the mutated and VG plus is the wild type. Similarly, the normal body color gray is changed due to mutation of another gene into black, and thus this gene is marked as small b. Therefore VG plus B plus, VG plus B plus, these are the wild type female, and VGB, this is a complete homozygous recessive male. So in their cross in F1, from one parent we will have VG plus B plus gamete, and from another parent there will be VGB gamete. Therefore in F1 the phenotype will be wild type, but genotypically both the loci are heterozygous. Now if this F1 is test crossed with another recessive, homozygous recessive, then what will happen? From the first parent there will be following types of gametes. No crossover gametes, as we have found, no crossover gametes, that is VG plus and B plus together and VG and B together, and there will be crossover gametes, that is VG with B plus and VG plus with B. So 2 no crossover gametes and 2 crossover gametes. Now from the other parent who is homozygous recessive, there will be only one type of gamete, that is VGB, and thus these are the combinations. Therefore in F2 phenotype there will be long wing grey body, parental type, vestigial wing black body, it is also parental type. So there will be total 820 parental types, whereas vestigial wing with grey body is recombinant type. Again, long wing with black body is also recombinant type. Therefore, these two are recombinant types. Now the frequency of recombinant types is 180. So remember that parental types 820, recombinant type 180. Now the frequency of non-recombinant type is therefore 820 out of 1000, that is 0.82, whereas the frequency of recombinant is 180 out of 1000, that is 0.18. Now from this data we can calculate the average number of crossovers between VG and B genes. That is what we have calculated in between A and B genes in our first example, that is the basic. So like that we are calculating the average number of crossover between VG and B gene. Now so no crossover or non-recombinant means 0 into 0.82 plus single crossover, that is 1 into 0.18. So the value will be 0.18. Therefore, from this simple analysis we can say that 0.18 or 18% chromosomes had a crossover between VG and B. Therefore, the VG and B are separated by 18 units on the genetic map. That is the average number of crossovers. Now, one map unit is called centimorgan in honor of Morgan, and 1 Morgan equal to 100 centimorgan. Therefore 0.18 Morgan is equal to 18 centimorgan. Thus the genetic map distance between VG and B gene is 18 centimorgan. Now coming to 3-point test cross, that is, here we will have the genetic distance between 3 successive genes on the same chromosome. Suppose X-linked triple mutant female Drosophila fly has been taken, where SC means skewed, EC means echinus, and CV means cross veinless mutations. And these triple mutant female is crossed with wild type male. Thus the wild type male and the triple mutant female has been crossed, and from the female there will be only one type of gametes, that is both the triple recessive SC, EC and CV, whereas from the male there will be 2 types of gametes. One is the X chromosome having all the 3 wild type genes, wild type alleles, and another is the Y chromosome. Now if the first 2 types of gametes cross, there will be in F1 one wild type female, whereas if the second type of cross takes place, there will be one recessive, homozygous recessive male. Now this F1 female is taken for a 3-point test cross experiment. So what will happen? Now this F1 female has been taken. With this there will be test cross. Now in this type of cross, suppose this data has been provided to you, that is the phenotypes and the numbers observed has been provided. You have to calculate the genetic map distance between these 3 genes on the same chromosome. Now how will we proceed? First of all, from this chart, we need to find out which are the parental, which are single crossover, and which are double crossover. Now, again, that chart. So first, let's determine the genotype from the phenotype. Class 1 sounds skewed, echinus, cross-veinless. Therefore, all three are mutated. Therefore, this will be the genotype SC, EC and CV. Number 2 is wild type. Therefore, all three will be positive wild type. Number 3 skewed. Therefore, only the skewed gene is mutated. Other two alleles are wild type. So, SC, EC plus, CV plus. Similarly, in class 4, there is echinus and cross-veinless. Therefore, echinus and cross-veinless genes are mutated, while the SC is positive, wild type. Similarly, in class 5, skewed and echinus mutated, CV plus. In 6th, cross-veinless is mutated, SC and EC, wild type. In class 7, skewed and cross-veinless are mutated, echinus gene or EC is wild type, and in class 8 only the echinus is mutated, SC and CV are wild type. Therefore, from phenotype, in this way we can calculate the genotype. Now, from the wild type and skewed echinus cross-veinless, that is class 1 and class 2, we can say that these two classes are parental, because we can see the same genetic combination, the same combination of genes from in the parents. Now compare type 3, type 4, type 5 and type 6 with the parental types. We can see that in type 3 there is only one gene, that is the SC allele has been exchanged compared to wild type number 2, class 2. Therefore, at region 1 there is crossing over, but rest are same. Whereas if we compare between the class 4 with class 1, then we can see the same, that is SC plus has been exchanged, but the EC and CV are same, mutated. Similarly, if number 5 and number 6 are also being compared with class 1 and class 2 respectively, we can see that only the CV allele has been exchanged, the first two alleles has been fixed. Therefore, all these four are single crossovers, either single crossover of SC locus or single crossover of the CV locus. Therefore, classes 3 to 6 are single crossovers. And the last two, where the frequency is only 1 out of 3, 2, 4, 8. So one of the simplest explanation is that the least number of frequencies are usually determined by the double crossover gametes. Now, this is a simple assumption, but we have to make sure whether this is double crossover or not. So that is why we have to compare it with parental type of gametes. So if we compare class 7 with class 2, we can see that the EC plus has been fixed, but on either side of EC plus, SC and CV alleles have been exchanged. Similarly, if we compare class 8 with class 1, we can see that again EC has been fixed, but SC and CV alleles has been exchanged. Therefore, there has been double crossovers in both SC and CV loci. So these two are double crossovers. Now to the next stage, determining the gene order. So there will be three possibilities of gene orders, either EC to start, then SC and CV, or SC to start, EC at the middle and CV, or EC at the start, then CV, then SC. Now compare class 1 parental having SC, EC and CV to class 8. Now we are not sure about the position of the alleles. However, we have been assured about the genotype and which one is the parental and which one is the double crossover. Now if we can compare between class 1 and class 8, we can see that class 1, where EC has been fixed at the center and SC and CV has been exchanged, so that is why it is double crossover. Similarly, in between class 2 and class 7, EC plus has been fixed and SC plus and CV plus has been exchanged. Thus, we can say that at the center, EC or EC plus alleles are fixed and skewed and echinus alleles have been switched their places. Therefore, we can say that the EC or echinus gene must be present in between the other two genes. Now, if EC is present in between the other two genes, then we can say that the second probability, that is SC followed by EC followed by CV, is the result. Now this can be reversed, that is CV followed by EC followed by EC, as there is no right hand side or left hand side of a chromosome, both are the same. So the correct gene order is SC, EC and CV, EC being the middle of the other two alleles. Now let's determine the map distances. So this is the correct gene order, SC, EC followed by CV. Now let us consider the numbers. So first of all, parental types are 1158 and 1455 respectively. Single crossover at region 1, where only the SC gene has been exchanged, is 163 and 130 respectively. Single crossover at region 2, where only the CV alleles has been exchanged, at region 2 are 192 and 148 respectively, and least frequencies, double crossovers, are only 1 each. Therefore, if we calculate the distance between SC and EC, so the average number of crossovers between SC and EC will be the additive result, that is the additive result of the all crossovers, that is single crossover at region 1 plus double crossovers, because double crossovers are also included within the region 1. Thus the map distance at region 1 will be SCO of region 1 added plus 2 double crossover values. So the total is 295 out of 3248, and that counts 0.091 Morgan, that is 9.1 centimorgan. Similarly, the map distance at region 2 will be counted with SCO at region 2 additive with the DCO values. So this counts 342 out of 3248, that is 0.105 Morgan, and thus it is 10.5 centimorgan. Therefore, what it looks like, so this is the correct gene order, SC, EC followed by CV. It may be wild type or it may be mutated, the alleles. Distance between SC and EC 9.1 centimorgan, EC and CV 10.5 centimorgan, and therefore the additive total result of SC and CV distance is 19.6 centimorgan. Now calculation of interference and coefficient of coincidence. We have seen that crossover frequency at region 1 is 0.091 and that of region 2 is 0.105. Thus, according to probability rule, these two simultaneous independent events, that is crossover at region 1 and crossover at region 2, if they happen simultaneously, then it will be called a double crossover. And the probability value of happening two independent events simultaneously is their multiplication. So applying the multiplication rule of probability, we calculate that the expected double crossover value at region 1 and region 2 is 0.0095. However, the observed double crossover frequency is much lower. 1 plus 1, that is 2 out of 3248, that is 0.006. Or if we calculate them separately, 1 out of 3248, the value will be 0.003. So 0.003 plus 0.003, that will be 0.0006, that is 0.0006 is the answer. So now the expected double crossover is 0.0095 and the observed double crossover is 0.0006. So we can say that the crossover at one region inhibits the crossover at the other region. That is called interference. That is, one crossover is inhibiting another crossover adjacent to this region. So this is called interference. So what will be the level of interference? So first of all, let's calculate the coefficient of coincidence. That is the ratio of observed DCO divided by expected DCO. And the value is 0.063. Now, the level of interference I is being calculated by subtracting the coefficient of coincidence from the value 1. So let the total value is 1, let there is the least interference level, so this is 1, and that is subtracted by the coefficient of coincidence, and that gives us the value of the level of interference. Therefore, we can say that if the coefficient of coincidence is higher, then the level of interference will be lower. Simultaneously, the vice versa is also true. So that's all from today about gene mapping, generating a correct gene order, and also calculating interference and coefficient of coincidence. Thank you.